Okay, right, we're just going to talk today about diets, about why diets work in the short term, why they don't work in the long term, why they're not very good for you, and why I would advise you to go on any diets. Okay, so first off, if you're going on a diet, it's going to be restrictive, and the way that most of them work is they either work on reducing probably carbohydrate intake or by reducing calorie intake,
or a combination of both.
Or, yeah, true. And from doing that, in the short term, you will lose weight. Anyone could give you a diet that will lose weight. I've come across some ridiculous diets that I've heard of where people only eat certain foods, but whether you're only eating couscous or whether you're only eating bananas, whether you're only eating Special K or whether you're not eating any carbohydrate whatsoever, it's very restrictive. And in the short term, because you're going on such a negative energy balance, you will lose some weight. And so they work. But
is that sustainable?
Is that sustainable is 100% the question. Now the problem is some people come in and I've got a holiday to go on in a month or in 6 weeks and I need to lose a load of weight, and so fine, you want to starve yourself and lose a load of fat and lose a load of water and lose a load of muscle mass and just look all skinny, then by going on one of these diets,
it will work into some capacity.
Yep, absolutely.
However,
go on.
Will it, after you come back from holiday, what are the long-term effects going to be? Now,
you go back to your normal diet.
Eventually, what's going to happen unless you're looking to maintain a diet of 12 to 1300 calories a day for the rest of your life?
That's one example.
Yeah, it's not going to be sustainable, which is why I think it's 4 out of 5 cases as an overall figure of people who go on diets in the long term, however long term is defined, actually end up weighing more by the end of the sort of the experience than before they started.
Yeah.
So that will come down to metabolism. Now, in the short term, by going on this caloric deficit, what's going to happen is you're going to be essentially taking in less calories a day than your body's going to be expending. So physiologically, your body, like you're cornering your body, it's going to be getting rid of some weight. Be it good weight or bad weight, fat, muscle, you're going to see a smaller number on the scales. But metabolically speaking, over a long period of time, as soon as you achieve your short-term goal, eventually it's going to happen that on consecutive days you're going to be eating more calories for whatever reason. Maybe Christmas is coming up, maybe you've got a birthday or a stag do to go on, and all of a sudden, because your metabolism's in this state of being fed less, suddenly going back to kind of a normal food intake is going to affect you a hell of a lot more than
So on the severe calorie deficit, your body is doing everything it can just to stay alive on not really enough calories. First thing is you're not getting enough micronutrients for you to be healthy.
Right.
But then you're not getting really enough energy to sustain yourself. So your body will just drop its metabolic rate. It'll do whatever it can.
Efficiency mode.
Yeah, super efficient. If you're trying to lose body fat, you don't want to be efficient. That's the last thing you want to be, really. You want to be inefficient, really. Now, once you start to add calories back in, which eventually will happen if you're on a severe calorie deficit, it's just you can't sustain.
Unless you just keep cutting the calories, to a point where
unhealthy, very unhealthy. As soon as you add the calories back in, your body's petrified of being starved again, so it'll store more of them away. You end up likely heavier than you were to start with. So in the long term, going on a severe calorie deficit bad idea. Just want to touch on some schemes such as like Weight Watchers and Slimming World don't necessarily promote a severe calorie deficit, and they do like to promote a lifestyle change. And you could argue the toss about how healthy they are in some ways, but they do try to promote a healthy, sustainable lifestyle. Fair enough. What they don't do though is educate you enough on why, and so people are forced to keep going on the Weight Watchers and Slimming World in order to keep the weight going. As soon as they go away and they go back to their normal lifestyle, same things happen. Their weight goes back up to at least where it was, if not higher, and so they're forced to go back, and that's how these companies work. If you don't keep going to them, then you go away and you don't know what to do, you end up putting weight on and you go back to them. So you're either forced to stay with them for your life, or every time you leave them, they come back to them. So it's the perfect, exactly, it's the perfect business model that they end up, you have to keep going back to them. So the best way is to educate yourself about what you should be doing, eating as much as possible while still losing weight.
stress that high enough. Taking care of your metabolism and making sure your body's always has enough food, well, not necessarily enough food inside it, but it's constantly taking on calories and energy.
Yeah.
Is the principle.
You need to find a way of eating plenty of food, but good food that's beneficial for your health and helps you with the optimal body composition, but makes it sustainable. So the weight loss will probably be slow, but the slower you lose it, the more likely you are
Exactly.
to keep it off. And if it's something you can do forever, then you can look the way you want, feel the way you want forever. And that's ultimately what we should all be striving for, I think.
That's all, folks.
That's it. See you again.
Cheers, guys.